Here's kind of what happened. This is actually a very truthful story, and no exaggeration at all. I'm half Irish and half Italian. I had an Italian mother, and she really didn't have a great understanding of athletics. My dad was much more involved in, I had two brothers and a sister, and all the boys were playing sports. So sports had been part of our family life, but my mother really was pretty much disinterested in what was happening, and she couldn't understand why I was a coach. And so I finally, the day I was named head coach of the Giants, I was going to be named head coach of the Giants, I said, gee whiz, I better call my mom and tell her this is going to happen so she doesn't hear it from her friend. And so I picked it up and I said, hey Mom, I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to be named head coach of the Giants tonight. She didn't even bat an eye. She said, when are you going to get a real job like your brother, the banker? She said, aren't you tired of going to those gymnasiums? She had no concept of what was going on. So it was really something that I've retained my whole life, because it's helped put my job in perspective when people are paying a lot of attention to you, and you start every once in a while to think you might be somewhat important, which you're not. I always go back to that, when you're going to get a real job.
Bill, you take over the Giants. You're in the #1 media market in the world. Your experience up to that point, probably not tremendous dealings with the media as a coordinator and a college assistant. A little bit of culture shock when 45 newspapers, television stations, etc., are chronicling your every move. What was that first adjustment like in dealing with the media?
I think the thing that you have to understand when you're in the business that I was in is that the simple one thing that I tried to do as a coach was, I was really, just much like some of you business people here, I was trying to put a team together. And I began to find out that pretty much the peripheral people around that venture were trying to pull the team apart. So I had to understand that the first method of separation of my team was kind of a division from within. And unless I could keep the team unified. Now, you hear a lot of these players outspoken now, you hear them talking about this. I tried to keep that from happening on my team. I wanted to have a team that was not divided among themselves, because that's the first way to lose. The second thing is that you have to face every day in my business is your immediate competition. Now, I was in the NFC East. We had the Cowboys to play, we had the Eagles to play, we had the Redskins to play when I was coaching the Giants. That's our immediate competition that we had to deal with. And then third, I had the public perception of what was going on, because if you didn't watch it, the media could kind of make that reality to your own team. And I had to do a pretty good amount of work of trying to explain to them, hey, listen, don't believe what everybody's saying here. Believe what I tell you, because it's going to be the truth. So and the media can be both a friend and very problematic when you're in the football business.
So, Bill, you get your first big leadership position with the Giants. Looking back with 25 years of perspective, were you ready at that moment for the calling of becoming a head coach?
No. The answer was no. I didn't expect it at that moment. I had aspired to be that way. But my first year I really wasted, because I was trying to be what, quote, I thought a head coach was kind of supposed to behave like. I was behaving like what I kind of thought a head coach was supposed to behave like. And I really wasn't being myself. And that was very, very costly, almost cost me any opportunity to ever continue coaching as a head coach in the NFL. Actually, basically, for all intents and purposes, I was fired if they could have found the right replacement. But fortunately, I don't know why God was looking down on me, the man they chose to be the right replacement didn't really want the job at the time. So they really didn't have the recourse, and they said, okay, we're going to give this guy another year. Well, when I knew all about this scenario as well. So when I found that out, I said, well, okay, if I'm going down with this ship, we're going to do it my way from now on. And I changed my whole attitude, but the basic thing I changed was back to being Bill Parcells. And I think that's what really eventually got me started.
It's a great lesson for everyone in the room. Rule number one is be yourself.
Be yourself.
And I don't want to rehash a bad year, but the year happened was 3-12-1. You decided.
We won all but 12. We don't say 3-12, we won all but 12.